Hello everyone. Good night. How are you all doing? Hope you're all doing great. Tonight we're gonna be talking a little bit about the acceleration, the next phase of the GameJamPlus competition. For those of you that still don't know me, I'm Juliana Brito and I'm CEO of Indie Hero. And for those of you that are asking what's the CEO of Indie Hero doing a Game Jam Plus live? So, Indie Hero is a indie game accelerator, and because of that, we're gonna take care of the acceleration of Game Jam Plus. We have been accelerating games for some time now, and now we're gonna help Game Jam Plus on that. I'm also a little bit sleepy. Then that's where you're from. Here it's too early to be sleepy. Still, I'm sleepy. I have a full day. Greetings from South Africa. Thank you very much, Fluffy. Fluffy. That's a nice name. Nice nickname. So, I also like we're going to do this live in English for everyone, and most of the celebration will be done in English, just because now when we're talking about transforming games in business, then we have to do in English. A lot of the investors and publishers they do deals in English, so we have to train a little bit. Whoa, midnight South Africa! You guys are like warriors. For those of you they're not able to be here with us. We this live is being recorded. It's gonna be here to explain. And if you have any doubts about the acceleration that I did not cover during this video, you just get in contact through Discord to our amazing backup team, Janini, Lel, Carol, they all help you. So without wasting any more time, let's just start. For those of you that speak Portuguese and have some problem with the language, with the video, I also did the same live at Indie Hero YouTube. And you can check this, and also the link will be here in the description. For those of you that want to help us, please subscribe to our channel, put the like button, do the YouTube thing. This will help us to bring even more content for you guys in the future. So let's start a little bit, and I will tell a little bit what Indie Hero is and how we were born, what's your mission, and then how the acceleration process is going to work. So Indie Hero was born from GameJamPlus. It was like about 3 years ago, because GameJamPlus existed so we can get more games to the market. As we were doing GameJamPlus, we were already in the 4th to 5th year for GameJamPlus. We noticed that even though we did everything here in GameJamPlus, a lot of games were not being launched. And we tried to understand where this problem came from, and we discovered, especially like in continents like Africa, Latam, if you take South Asia and Western Europe, there's not a lot of seed capital going on. What I mean from seed capital, we do find like angel investment. That's investment until like $50,000 to $100,000, but and we also find a lot of venture capital investment, so up about 1.5 to $2 million in forward, but there was not a lot of seed capital. So this gap there between $100,000 to 1 million to 1.5 million, there's a lot of risk in this kind of capital, and markets that are still not mature, they do not have this capital, but it's a very important phase so we can get more games, more startups, and more companies to the market. So we saw that it's not enough of this kind of money. There's also no access to the global networking. So, okay, if there's not this money inside of country or inside of your continent, what do you do? Let's then go like to Europe and US. They're known for to have a lot of seed capitals. But how do I get to do that? Like, how do you just go to the Europe? Like, costs a lot of money to get there. How do we do the networking? How do I meet the right people that I need to meet? How do I introduce myself? How do I send them emails? How do I present my game to them and my company? So those are not a problem. And of course, the language barrier. I don't know how it is in your country, but here in Brazil, just 5% of people could do a live like the one I'm doing here in English. We do not have a lot of people that speak English, and the global business language nowadays is English. So, of course, we have a language barrier, and that's also a problem. And that's why Indie Hero was born, to try to solve those problems. We from Indie Hero want that everyone that wants to live a game creator has everything they need to do it. So we're trying to address all these problems during the acceleration. Of course, it's a short time. And of course, it depends a lot on you guys. It doesn't depend on me. I'm also like looking, like I just have one screen. So I'm just looking at my screen, and every like 2 to 3 minutes, I'm gonna go back to the chat and see if there's any questions. And if there is, I'm just gonna answer them. So no questions, gonna go back to the presentation. Let's go. So the idea is to create opportunities between the in-game developers and the market. Now, exposure this project to professional publishers and investors in games. So that's where the idea was born. So how do we do it? Now, join the journey of indies is the indie game accelerator, Indie Hero Accelerator, in this three-step program. First, we're gonna build a solid pitch and a solid business plan. So we noticed that there is a lot of steps to get publishers investment. But the first step is a good pitch, a good 5-minute presentation where you present your game, your idea, that's very clear and very well built. And after that, we have negotiations and everything that's a little bit more complex, but we are seeing that the games, the indie games, were not even getting the first part right, the good pitch. So they're not like just 5% or less. We're getting to the next meeting with the investors. So we thought, okay, during the acceleration program, let's work a lot on a very good pitch and a very solid business plan, so we can get to the second meeting. And the last two acceleration programs Indie Hero ran, we got 85% of the people that went through the program got the second meeting. So we did our first goal, that's to get you through the first meeting, so you can have then a 1-hour meeting to explain everything in more details and get to the negotiation part. The second step of the program are the business rounds. So if you have a good pitch, we go to business rounds with real investors and real publishers. We have about nowadays 25 groups that goes through our portfolio and watch your games and watch your pitches to see if there's an investment opportunity for them. Most of them are from Europe and USA. Most of them are actually from Europe. And then the third step, the negotiation, legal guidance, investment, orienteering. So we help you guys, like you got a solid pitch, you went there, you did a job, like you went to the business round, you did great, you're awesome. And then now we're going to go to the negotiation. So Indie Hero will be with you during the negotiation, step by step, teaching you about it. We even do a live here in the future, probably in May, teaching you how to better negotiate. So we're going to teach you how to negotiate. Like we try to help with legal guidance, but that's a little bit tricky since we're talking with so many different countries. We do better helping with legal guidance in LATAM and Western Europe. We still don't understand some of the legal things in Asia and Africa, but we do have partners that will help us if we get to this stage. And after that, the investment routine, like, okay, I did everything, I negotiated, I did a great contract. So now how do I get my money? So we help you with different kinds of like opening accounts in the US or in Europe if necessary to receive the money. How do we do the whole process? We're gonna have webinars and lives. Like today is the opening live, so we're doing a Monday, but we're gonna have content going out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We will not have one-on-one mentoring as we had during the incubation period. We'll and also not workshops. Everything will be done in talks and lives. But what we'll have that you did not have during the incubation, you'll receive individual written feedback per email or per communication, like we're going to do that, about your feedback about your pitch. And then you'll be able to deliver your pitch to us as many times as you want. So, for example, we all have your pitches that were delivered during the incubation, in the end of the incubation. We're going to do the first feedback on those pitches. And then you can record another pitch with the feedback we gave and send us again. And you can do that every week or every 2 weeks till you have the perfect pitch, because we are going to be giving written feedback per email every single time you send me a pitch. So that's something I will be doing personally. I will be giving you feedback. Let me go back to the chat. No more questions. Go back to the live. And then we will have a pitch test. That's kind of we're gonna do a live pitching environment where we'll invite some of prestigious people from the game industry, still not investors, still not publishers. But why do you do that? Like, I cannot send you guys to the business rounds if you guys are not ready. I cannot do that. Unfortunately, for example, for the games from GameJamPlus last year, we are able just to send 5 teams to the business rounds. So we have as many places, like there's not a limited space of places. We can send 80 teams if the 80 teams get the pitch right. But I have a deal with the investors and publishers, and I cannot send them not good material, because then I'll be wasting their time. And these are people that are very concerned about the time. Because of that, I really need to be sure that the quality of the pitch and the quality of the business plan are very good and very solid. So we can send you guys, and we're going to do that during the pitch test. Is like a run test. And that when we give the final grade for a pitch. And then for those of you that classify, you're gonna go to business round with us, and we're gonna do like a mix about here in Brazil, but also online pitching. So with some publishers. So how are we gonna evaluate those pitches? So we have like 5 criteria for the pitch evaluation. The first one is going to be English. As I said, I cannot do any different. Last year I sent some games. They were not very good in English, but they did a great pitch because they trained very much. And then the investors send them, like the publishers send them emails and everything, and they didn't answer because they didn't understand the email, and the publisher was like very angry about it. So that's unfortunately really important, because most of the investments and most of the publishers are in Europe and in US. So the second grade you're gonna give is about your what kind of resources used in your presentation. Today, a good pitch presentation has to have like amazing art, especially because you guys are game studios. So you have to have like amazing art, but also have to have like a little bit of video, a little bit of GIFs. Like, it has to be an interest presentation. It has to have movement. Like nowadays we are used to movement. The solid business plan, that means, did you do market research about this game? How much do you think you're gonna sell? Why do you think you're gonna sell that? So we go through all this detail. Who's your team? Why do you think your team's the best one to execute this project? So this is another criteria. Each of these criteria will give you a grade from 0 to 5. So the next criteria is how you speak and how clean is your pitch. The way you speak, the way you present yourself is super important when you do a pitch. And the line of the explanation during the pitch, like if you start the pitch telling about your game and then you go to the business plan, but then you go back and talk about your game, that makes everything more confusing. You just have like 5 minutes. So how clean is your or delivering, how clean are you delivering this information? And of course, the design of your pitch deck, design matters a lot. Like everybody wants to see a great presentation. If you don't know, a big publisher, for example, they receive about 10 to 15 pitches a day, and they will choose just one game per month to publish. So look how much those people, how much material they do have to go through, and they will get a pitch deck that is not beautiful, that not has a lot of gifs, not have a lot of video. They will lose interest and not go through the deck. So that's the reality. To go to the business rounds, you have to have a 20 points. So the maximum is 25, but you will have to do a 20 points. So I can put you through the business rounds, and my publishers, investors, they will be happy. That's how we're gonna do the business rounds. The global final for GameJamPlus is another thing. So you're gonna submit again your build for the game, and you'll be trying to win prizes of best game, best music, best art. So we have different kind of prizes that you guys are gonna try to win. If you go to the business rounds or not, you still can get those prizes. So there are some a little bit separated things. So a little bit you can, no, I have no interest in or becoming a studio. I just want to do a great game and be evaluated for that. That's no problem at all for you. You just have like to deliver the build. We're gonna still give the date of the build delivery. It's gonna be around like the end of May, the beginning of June. It's gonna be the date somewhere around that. And then that's no problem. But if you want to go to the business round, you have to pay a lot of attention to the pitch, because the pitch will be the only criteria going to the business round. Why we do that? That's a very important thing. Like I have different kind of investors and publishers. They all want something different. So we will not evaluate your games to send to them, because different publishers and different investors, they want different things. So it's not our place to evaluate that, but it is our place to send them a great presentation where they will not be bored looking through it, and they will have the willingness to look through it. So we're just going to evaluate the quality of the pitch and not the quality of the game for the business round. For all the GameJamPlus prices, of course, you're going to be evaluated of the quality of your game. So two separate things that I think is very important. Let me look at the chat. Nothing on the chat. Let's go back to presentation. Yes. So that's just that. If you go to the business rounds, you have to sign some documents where there will be a partnership between your studio and Indie Hero going there, because we're gonna help you guys through the whole process. So where we are everywhere that GameJamPlus also is. Nowadays, we have 183 studios in our data bank. After the business round, we built a magazine with the pitches that we recorded, and also a page explaining about you and your game. And we run this magazine the whole year around. To all events we go. So we do go to Gamescom. We were at GDC last week. We're gonna go to all the major game events during the year, and we're gonna bring this magazine with us. So, but to be inside this magazine, you have to have the grade of the 20 points for the pitch. There is no way around that. So please pay attention. Tomorrow, I will make a live also explaining how to do a great pitch. So I'll make a live. I already have one at the GameJamPlus YouTube, but I would do another one special for the GameJamPlus Accelerated. So we have like about 25 groups of investors and publishers that came to our last event, but our total database now is 47 groups. Because as I said, we go through all these events and we bring this magazine with. This here is a little bit about the studios that we have in our database. So some of the studios are beginning studios, and some of the studios, they already have like 10 people or more inside the studio. So Indie Hero is not just a GameJamPlus accelerator. We also accelerate studios that have been in the market for longer. We do have with us some studios that has already 10 years in the market, and they went through our acceleration process. So we're very serious about what we're doing here. And I think that's a very important thing. Let me show a little bit video. How was the first business round we did in 2021?
We are artists, creators. We want to expand our ability to create worlds and experiences. We want to express ourselves through games. Creating games is our goal, and we want to make our living from this dream.
Todo mundo contarante.
So in the first edition, we had 35 studios participating with us. From the 35 studios, 26 studios got the second mini, and we got $20 million in proposals for 22 studios. So for the 26 that went to the second meeting, 22 studios were able to get the proposal. The proposal can be bad proposals, and you can say no. Just because you got a proposal, you do not have to accept. That's something to do with the negotiation part. So that was a little bit about the first edition that we did in 2021. At that time, we had the business partner, the Usina plant. They are still our partners, and they still continue working with us. So that's a little bit how the second journey of Indie went. So the second business rounds that we did last year. So from all those videos there, as you can see, about 5 to 6 of those games came from GameJamPlus, and they participated with us last year. So this is the list of the publishers and investors that were with us last year. So we have some like very known names. So Triple Dragon was there with us, Photon Games, Exola, some of Brazilian investors like Magalu Games. They're big Brazilian marketplace, and they wanted to expand to the gaming industry. Doesn't mean that everybody that was with us last edition will be here with us again. We already have 3 publishers that confirmed that they're going to be here with us, and we will probably post the names of the publishers and investors who will be here with us a little bit closer to the event. We also have, as I said, we do this magazine, and then we go around the world with that for the whole year. So we also have some other opportunities that they were not present on the business round. But for those of you that did make to the magazine, we have opportunities from Infinity Games, Hot Fury, Alliance, so Headlines, Triple Dragon. So we have a lot of opportunities that came to us from big publishers around the world. They were looking for a specific kind of games, and they went through these magazines. This is just some examples of some of the deals that we got. Besides that, so Indie Hero also does some events around the world, and we try to do the game exposition from the games that are in our magazine through the world. So don't know if you know, but in Brazil we have this big event called Rock in Rio. So we were there with the game exposition, but we also were in Israel. We also were in Dubai. We also did in Lisbon in Europe. We also did some game expositions there, and we brought the games from the accelerator to expose there, so more people could know those games. So Discord is very important for us. I promise we're gonna do rebranding for our Discord. I know the communication there has not been easy all the time. We got your feedback, and we're gonna work on that. But most of the communications will be drawn through Discord, just because it's the most international and inclusive communication platform we have in the moment. Since we are working with so many different countries and so many different continents, we did the research, and Discord is really the one that's most known in all those countries. So we have not a lot of option as using the Discord. And you guys do not normally check your emails. So we're probably going to do a lot through Discord. But we're going to do a cleanup there. So maybe it's going to be easy for you guys to get to the information. I do hope that when we send the pitch feedback through email, that you guys really open this email. Is an important one. So I hope we can do that. So that's a little bit of how, so that's about my team. Me and my team, we want to congratulate all of you from GameJamPlus that were able to get to this phase. I know this was a lot of hard work. I know you all you guys have work to do, and you do that at night and weekends. So I think you all deserve a super congratulation for everything you have done so far and for getting to the acceleration process. I do hope you like the acceleration process. We will do a lot of content about publishing, self-publishing, how to talk with publisher, negotiation, pitching. We talk a lot about pitching, market research, valuation. We also talk a lot a bit of producing, so content about how to produce. This week, we already have live tomorrow with me again, where we'll do a little bit of workshop, how to build a great pitch that you'll be watching over and over again to improve yourselves. But also we're gonna have on Wednesday, we're gonna have some content with units and monetization. So how to monetize using units. We have some units specialists here from San Francisco. They're gonna explain that to you guys. We are also gonna bring some publishers here. They will do something like a reverse pitch. That means they're gonna pitch what the publisher are looking for, how you can talk to them. So we have a lot of content on the business part. So incubation was very focused on getting your game to be better. So we did a lot of content about development, about arts, about music and everything. Of course, those things are still important because we have prices on that in GameJamPlus. So you get there is a price for best art, there's a price for best music, there's a price for best game design and everything. So we have a lot of prices. Of course, we also have the prices for the best of each continent. Just because you won the continental final does not mean you're gonna be the winner of your continent on the acceleration phase. So we had that last year that someone won their in the continent. They got the ticket, but they were not the winner on the global final because the other team continued working on the game and making it better. And because of that, they got in the end of the day they got the prize. So there's also prizes. We also have the prizes of the category. Everybody already knows everyone from Tale of Us that went to the next stage, and everyone from Product Madness that went to the next stage. We're still waiting for the chosen one for the Totem category. So we also have those prizes that are going to be decided in the global final. But most of the acceleration, a lot of the acceleration will be directed for the business rounds and trying to get you guys there and trying to prepare yourselves to really build a studio and transform your game on a small company. So I hope you liked the content. Again, congratulations for getting to here. If you have any questions, you can get to my amazing team through Discord. And I hope see you 2 weeks more. We'll redo our Discord and hopefully make it better for everyone. Okay, there's any questions on the chat? I just have a lot of South Africa here, but I don't know if I have anyone else. I think not. I will count to 3 and see if there's a question. 1, 2, 3. So there's no questions. You can all guys can always contact me or our team if you have any questions. And I hope you do enjoy the accelerator. Oh, we have some people more here. Hello. I hope you enjoy the accelerator. We prepare everything for a lot of care and really trying to push you guys to be part of this amazing market that is creating games. So I hope everyone likes that. And I hope you guys like our content. At the end of acceleration, we'll do run a new form. I know we do a lot of forms, but they really help us to improve for you guys and do better next year and next time. So thank you everyone for answering our forms and for answering everything. You guys are amazing. Thank you everyone for participating and good night.